Welcome to Jukebox 2, your favorite music podcast. I am back again for the third week in a row. Give it up for me. Yes. Thank you. For those that are new here, my name is Jay Burritos. I am the master of millennial music, and I'm here to bring you another week of your favorite music podcast discussing music news, reviews, and conversation. Jukebox 2, baby. We're back and we're better, like Bryson Tiller. I'd like to thank you all for listening to last week's episode. I had a really good time. We discussed Beyonce's Renaissance in length, tried to rank every single song in order from worst to best, caused a firestorm within my own community that hasn't spread far enough out yet, but within my community, there's a firestorm. I want to read one of my favorite comments from last week's episode that was left on the YouTube video by my boy Trazia K, which made it known that the Beehive is finna jump me. The transitions from Cuff It to Energy to Break My Soul should place all three in S+++ tier automatically. Keep my head on a swivel, Burrito Man. Now, I don't appreciate the thread at the end because I feel like I did a pretty good job of ranking them songs. I mean, the final ranking was pretty good. I feel like y'all don't have to come in my head like this. I feel like I did my best. I know I'm new to the Beehive, but you ain't got to treat me like this. I did my best. No, that list is immaculate. That list is objectively correct. And anybody that disagrees can go to hell. I'll just leave it there. Virgo's Groove is the best song. I made the entire episode to have the opportunity to talk about Renaissance for a little bit, but also just to exclaim that Virgo's Groove is probably the best song that Beyonce has ever made. And Renaissance is my favorite album of hers, and it is the album of the year. And there's not much that anybody can do to change that, which is what I said last week. Now, more albums keep coming out as I keep, waiting for somebody to wow me more than Beyonce, and it's not happening. And another album that came out this past week was an album that some of us were looking forward to because it's a collab that kind of makes sense on paper, and we've had enough songs to prove that it should have some power to put at least a mixtape, EP, or maybe even a full album behind it. But Drake and 21 Savage released a new album, new project. I don't know what they're calling it these days. Her Loss came out this past Friday. And we're not going to review the album so much as kind of talk about the one thing that everybody's kind of talking about. And actually, before I get started, because I'm not feeling right today is a soapbox episode. I'm going to just sit on that real quick. Cool. I'll ruin a bar of soap. I'm gonna get on my soapbox because today's episode feels like something that's been marinating in my mind for a while. And I've been waiting to kind of get my thoughts together in a more cohesive way so that my points kind of make sense and I don't lose people. Because sometimes when I feel like I get on my soapbox, I feel like I talk past people and I don't do a good job of trying to make my point. However, I do feel like I'm being too nice by not saying anything, and I'm stalling for no reason because there need to be more voices out there that are just like kind of outwardly speaking against this bullshit that's happening in the culture, in the media, and I want to count myself as one of those people. So I need to take a moment and get on my soapbox and just say what needs to be said. I really want to start today's episode by asking it's rhetorical, but I also want answers. I want people's opinions in the comments. So definitely leave me some comments on YouTube, or you can just tweet me on Twitter at JBurritos. But the crux of today's episode is the question: why do we hate Meg Thee Stallion? Why do we hate Megan Thee Stallion? When I say we, I obviously don't mean me. I obviously don't mean most of the people listening to this podcast, or even most of the people on my timeline. I don't see a whole lot of people going like, oh, Meg is annoying as fuck. She can't rap. All she rap about is pussy. I don't see a whole lot of that on my timeline personally. But I know that when I search her name on Google, on Twitter, on Facebook, anywhere else, or really Facebook, I'm friends with a lot of people that I went to middle school and high school with. So Facebook is actually a lot worse. But my Twitter is pretty curated to where like I don't see a whole lot of hate for Meg Thee Stallion, but that's just me in my own echo chamber. When I say we, when I ask the question, why do we hate Megan Thee Stallion? I do think that while she is, like the figurehead for female rap, and if people that are not watching online, I'm using the heaviest air quotes when I say that. But she's become the poster child for women's rapping. and we've piled on just every little reason to hate her that we can, you know. Like before I get into this diatribe, because again, I know the thing that worries me about me getting on my soapbox today is that I know that there are going to be people out there that are like, oh man, why you simping for Meg or blah, blah, blah. You won't even listen to her music like that. Blah, blah. All right. I'm not going to pretend like I spend every day when I'm working out, when I'm just hanging out working, I spend every day listening to Sugar or Traumazine or Tina Snow. I think her music, while it's catchy, is not necessarily for me. I'm obviously not the target audience. I'm not the bad bitch that she's speaking to. However, I think I can say that without dogging her like I feel like a lot of us do. And I feel like I lose, here we go. I lose a lot of people. I remember when I did my Legend of Korra video a few years ago, and I lost a lot of people when I said the word misogyny. So I'm gonna say something different. I'm just gonna say y'all hating. Because clearly we don't like big words like misogyny and patriarchy. I'm just going to say that the general disdain that I see for Meg Thee Stallion is weird. And I feel like a lot of us, like I was saying the other week with Kanye, we all just kind of like ignore it. We all just say like, yeah, niggas just going to be niggas. Of course they going to hate women rapping. Oh, women always rapping about pussy. They always rap about pussy. Like niggas not always rapping about dick. Like niggas not always rapping about money. Like niggas not always rapping about fame. You know, cars, all of the same shit. Like, you don't care when they talking about rollies, when they talking about digging in the pussy, you know, pulling out, I can't smell it. Like, you know, fucking anything, West Side Gun, come here, bitch, I'ma stick my pussy in your pussy and call it pussy, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Like, you don't care. we don't care when other people do it. But I feel like, again, it's obvious. I know it's obvious. I know a lot of people that are listening. I'm preaching to the choir, but we pick and choose who to nitpick, like who to police when it comes to like what they can say. And more often than not, it's always like, bro, women always rapping about the same shit. Like they doing it right now with Ice Spice. They doing it right now with Glorilla. They doing it right now with, everybody that's hot right now that's trying to come out and rap and replace these dudes that's not really rapping about nothing right now. Everybody always got something to say. It's always, you know, they rapping about the same shit, bro. They boring as fuck. It's the flows. Like everybody's not been using the same triplet flow for the last 10 years. Like we all not rapping about the same shit, you know. I love when people tend to bring up other rappers. Poor Rhapsody. She only gets, right? I feel bad for her because she's a great artist. And shout out to my boy Faraday for really putting me on and introducing me to a lot of her work. But like, she's a legitimately great artist. However, people only bring her up to knock down somebody else. It's never just, hey, yo, Rhapsody just released a new album. Y'all should go check that out. It's always like, man, goddamn, Cardi B she got another song rapping about her pussy, man. Why can't everybody be like Rhapsody? Nigga, you don't listen to Rhapsody. Because if you did, you would know that she's also rapping about her pussy. These arguments are stupid, and they only work on the internet where most people don't read, they don't comprehend, and they don't take the time to actually like dig into context and do a little more critical thinking. And it's not your fault. I'm one of the children that was left behind. Thank you, George Bush. I get it. I went to Atlanta public schools. This is what frustrates me the most. I get heated about this topic because I grew up with people and I know people that feel the way about Meg Thee Stallion and just women rapping in general. They feel this way that I'm talking about. They have this just disdain, this nastiness about it of just like, ugh, what the hell y'all doing? Like, they don't realize that in a way they sound like the same way that like our parents and our grandparents talked about rap. Like the reason why I have so many holes in my hip hop and rap repertoire is because like I grew up with people being like, what is that? What is that? You can't call that music. What is that? You know, just talking about Outkast, talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like talking about Lil Wayne, talking about anything that we was listening to coming up. Like they were saying that's not music. Y'all, if people don't see the parallel in that, you sound exactly the same as that. Like whenever you get on your soapbox and go like, yo, what the fuck are y'all even rapping about? Like why is everybody so crazy about Meg Thee Stallion? Anyway, I feel like I'm zooming out a little too far, and I want to zoom back in and talk more about Meg Thee Stallion, period. Because like I said, I feel like this episode has been brewing in my head for a while. You know, she was allegedly, and I'm again using big air quotes here, allegedly shot in July 2020 by Tory Lanez. That's what she alleges. And they're in court. They've been in court for like the past 2 years trying to tie that up. And that entire spectacle has just, in my opinion, given people a reason, like a catalyst for their hate. You know what I'm saying? Like if before she was shot in the foot, I feel like the standard excuses, the standard reasons not to like her were just like, she's just rapping about her ass. She's just rapping about her pussy. She's just rapping about money. It's just the same shit that I was always hearing. You know, she annoying, she loud, blah, blah, blah. The same shit that they say about, and the same shit that they say about Cardi B, the same shit that they say about anybody else. That's what they were saying. But I feel like this incident that happened in July 2020 was a lot of people were kind of waiting in the woodwork. And when I say that, I'm kind of fast forwarding. When I say people were waiting in the woodwork, I don't mean Tory Lane fans were waiting in the woodwork to be like, yeah, see, I told y'all. I feel like people that had their own reasons, whatever they were, valid, irrational, or whatever, to hate on Meg Thee Stallion, they used that incident in July 2020 as the catalyst to be like, see? Like, especially, I mean, it took her, from what I understand, it took her a month to come out and say that, like, hey, I was actually shot by somebody, and it took her even longer to say who it was. And ever since that point, it's just become this culture war that is just so fucking stupid to me. It's just so dumb. It's just it's and you see it a lot on Twitter, and you think it doesn't exist in real life. But again, you meet people that feel the way that they feel about Megan, that feel the way that they feel about Tory Lanez for whatever reason, and it opens your eyes. Speaking for me personally, I'm just hearing people's rationale for like why they fuck with Tory Lanez. And a lot of people didn't start fucking with Tory Lanez until after this incident, because he's being painted as a villain, as a victim, because we like to bring black men down. I don't know why we like to bring each other down, man. It's always a black woman trying to bring a black man down. Like this it's the kind of rationalities that I see online for like for hating on Meg. Like she is a villain. She is attacking a man. She's trying to bring a man's livelihood down. So I see a lot of people take up the mantle of like, okay, well, I'm gonna lift this black man up. Daystar, I've got your back. I'm a big fan now. When's your next album coming out? And it's so transparently full of shit. It's so ugly and full of shit. I got to just call a spade a spade. Like, I'm not gonna say that Tory Lanez just all of a sudden blew up in 2020. That's obviously not true. He had his fans before and then. Like, I remember the one song, Say It. That's the only song I can say. But like, I know he's got other popular songs prior to 2020 that people was rocking with. But I can't say that he was really a part of just like the bigger cultural conversation more than he was until he allegedly shot Meg Thee Stallion. And like, now I just feel like he has this legion of some people. No, I can't give good faith on this. I really can't. I keep trying to be nice and give good faith and be like, oh, there are just some people that just really like his music. I'm not gonna give anybody cover for this. It's just all like, and I'm not giving anybody. There are people. He has a legion of fans now that just seem to only want to tear that woman down, and it's weird to see as like. It's weird to see as somebody who has been in and out of the culture for a few years, who tries to just like sometimes enjoy music for what it is, sometimes enjoy people's personalities. And like I was saying with Meg Thee Stallion, like I'm not the biggest fan of her music personally, but I do think it's good. It's, you know, hit it in the club sometime, you're around the right women, it's gonna pop. And I really love her personality more than anything. And I don't see any reason to like use this whole like shooting as an excuse to like take away from her, to bring her down. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And like seeing people and a lot of specific people in the culture just kind of like take their shots or just like stick their flag down on like, I'm Team Tory, or like, fuck Megan, what she's talking about. Seeing them do that is real weird. It's just absolutely weird. We didn't talk about when Tory Lanez did drop an album this year. LeBron James posted a video of him like just going hard in the car, just being like, yo, Tory, he didn't say nothing, but like he was listening to the music and he just jamming out, not knowing none of the words, but and he posted it. and gave him credit, like, yo, Tory, you did your thing, man. LeBron James, there's no way you don't know what's going on right now. There's no way. I know that, like, you know, we pretending to read Malcolm X, and you play a lot of basketball, so you can't keep up with everything in the culture, but there's no way you don't know. At least you cannot search Tory Lanez' name without Meg Thee Stallion coming up in some kind of way. So there's no way you didn't know before you posted that. They're like, okay, this is going to make some people feel away. This is going to be weird. maybe I shouldn't do this. And getting to the crux of what I've been circling around, what we're talking about today, the Drake and 21 Savage album, Her Loss, and the song Circo, Loco, which had the line in the first verse by Drake, this bitch lie about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. That was his reference. That was his line. 2022, this album came out on November 4th. So it's been 2.5 years. And the biggest pop star in rap decided that he wanted to make a line referencing this incident that is still going on, that we still don't have all the facts for. He still wanted to take a little shot. You know, this bitch lie about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She ain't even get the joke, but she's still smiling. Hey, look at me. I'm Drake. I'm telling jokes. Why? Why this? Why this? I don't like. I woke up Friday morning and I was somewhat excited for the album. I'm like, hold up now. Drake and 21, you know, they pushed it back. It was supposed to come out last week. But they pushed it back a week and it came out Friday and I was kind of excited. And of course, the first thing I do, this is where I need to stop doing this. I got to put my phone away for like 2 hours before I wake up. But I wake up, pull my phone, you know, turn off the alarm, go straight to Twitter. Mistake number one. Mistake number two, checking the trending tab. The trending tab, Drake is going off, 21 going off, Meg going off. And I already see this line and I'm like, okay, all right, well. I was going to take my time talking about this album. I was going to take my time talking about this, you know, I was going to talk about it when I talked about it, but I guess I got to talk about it this week. And I went and I pressed play, and the first few songs were actually pretty damn good to me. Like the first 3 songs, I want to say. I only listened to it once because I'm really not here to talk about the album. I'm here to talk about Meg Thee Stallion and this dumbass line. But I listened to the album once, and like in the first few songs, I was like, hold up now. Hold on, wait a minute. Like, and I could hear that he was like subtly throwing shots at a lot of people. It wasn't just Meg. Like he threw shots at Drum. He threw shots at Diddy, I think. He threw shots at Ye. He's throwing shots at everybody. Everybody can get it. And that's always, to be fair, that's always been Drake's MO, is that he's the petty king. That's why we love him. He's a toxic king. You know, What a Time to Be Alive came out in 2015. So it's like, it's not that much of a surprise that this album is going to be a little poison, okay? But like, I feel like there's a line. Like, you could just hit him with, hey, bitches ain't shit. I'ma run through them on the town. Hey, everybody wanna give me the crown. You know what I mean? Like, you can do the generalization. You could be like, hey, bitches ain't shit. You know what I'm just saying? They want their money. Goddamn, I'm about to run through them. But when you take such clear aim, and again, it's what Drake is good at. Drake is really good at throwing his rock and hiding his hand. He's really good at that shit. He's been doing it for years. It's why a lot of us love him. It's why a lot of people hate him. And it was cute. Like I said, it was cute up to a certain point. This is not cute. This line, this bitch lie about getting shots, but she's still a stallion, is not cute. Let me take a minute and read the annotation on Genius, because I think it gives important context, which serves to my general point about this bullshit. But let me read the Genius annotation. This line said was deemed rather controversial across the internet, as it seemed like Drake was making an apparent implication that Megan Thee Stallion lied about being shot by Tory Lanez on July 12, 2020, through the way of a promiscuous analogy. In actuality, the Toronto rapper is complimenting a woman on... Oh my God. In actuality, the Toronto rapper is complimenting a woman on her physique, comparing her beauty to that of a stallion. On the other hand, he is confident that her body is fake, implying that she received injections to achieve her ideal look. Megan Thee Stallion was not happy about this supposed diss. When Circo Loco released, she made several tweets clarifying her stance on Drake's comments, the first of which reading, quote, "Stop using my shooting for clout, bitch ass niggas. Since when the fuck is it cool to joke about women getting shot? You niggas, especially rap niggas, are lame, ready to boycott about shoes and clothes, but dogpile on a black woman when she say one of y'all homeboys abused her, end quote. Lil Yachty, who contributed to numerous tracks on her loss, clarified on behalf of Drake during an Instagram live on the day of the album's release, explaining how the bar had nothing to do with the criminal complaint between rappers Tory and Meg and was merely a one-dimensional line about women lying about butt injections. For context, prosecutors alleged that Tory, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, got out of an SUV following an argument with Megan Thee Stallion in Hollywood Hills on July 12, 2020, and inflicted bodily injury on her. Lanes was officially charged with one count of carrying a semi-automatic firearm with another count of carrying a loaded concealed firearm in a vehicle. According to a video made by Megan Thee Stallion on August 20th, 2020, a month after the alleged incident, Tory was not only the perpetrator who had assaulted her, but he had shot her twice in the foot. Yachty also commented during the same live video on how he was confident that Drake himself was not going to clear anything up about the line despite it having nothing to do with Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, I know that was a long annotation, that was a long read, but I have to go part by part and explain like why this is stupid. Okay, so I went into the comments of the annotation and I saw that the moderators were kind of arguing about like the subjectivity and the objectivity of like what they're saying here, which is why this first paragraph here that says, in actuality, the Toronto rapper is complimenting a woman on her physique, comparing her beauty to that of a stallion. A lot of people on Twitter are falling by, again, it's the whole throwing the rock, hiding your hand thing. Like, you know what you said, stand behind that shit. But like everybody that's like, did y'all see what Drake said? Oh my God. Like everybody that's like kind of low key celebrating this whack ass line when everybody on the internet rightfully is taking this man Drake to task for this terrible line. They're defending him and they're coming up being like, guys, have you ever heard of a double entendre before? Nigga, you can't even spell that. You don't know. You had to Google it. Autocorrect did that for you. You don't know what that means. So shut up. I can't. Again, it's so disingenuous. Yes, we know what a double entendre is. Yes, I can see how this line is like a sly way to refer to like, okay, we talking about all girls with BBLs and shit like that. He's so very obviously, clearly talking about this incident that to say otherwise is just disingenuous. Like you're straight up like lying about it. He know what he did, and that's why he ain't said nothing about it. And like Lil Yachty having to come out and be like, "Hey guys, actually, by the way, this isn't about Meg, and he's not gonna say nothing about it." He of course he's laughing. He's laughing his way to the bank. He is like again, Tory's legion and Drake's millions and millions of legions of fans who have for some reason not given up after the years and years of mediocre projects that he's been putting out are eating this shit up. He is laughing his way to the bank. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People are gonna feature with Drake. He's still gonna be out at all. He's gonna be on the SNLs. He's gonna be on the stadium tours. He's gonna be out in the public. People still gonna rock with him because Drake is Drake. He's untouchable. In the same way that like Ye overplayed his hand and was like, "Oh, Adidas can't do nothing to me. I can say anti-Semitic shit, and y'all can't do nothing." They took his shit away, and he'll still find a way to find. He still has support. He'll find his way to get support. He'll find his way to make his shoes again. Drake will not receive any tangible pushback from this, in my opinion. And that's what kind of fucks me up is that like the biggest star in rap is just allowed to say slyly, like you're allowed to slyly reference shit like this subliminally, and we just supposed to just take it. We as fans are just supposed to be like, oh, okay, well, I guess whatever. I guess when's the next Drake album coming out? The industry at large, who Meg Thee Stallion is a part of, is supposed to just like, I don't know, like brush it off, laugh at it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what's killing me is that we seem to zoom back out again. I don't think anybody cares. And that's what, and when I say anybody, I know I'm not talking about everybody. I'm not talking about everybody. There are plenty of people that are screaming that this shit is dumb and that it's terrible and that Drake should not be doing dumb shit like this. But it has no tangible effect, in my opinion. Like, it's not going to do anything to make him change his behavior, to make other people see how fucking ridiculous this is. I don't even think what I'm saying right now is going to help. Again, I just had to call it out for what it is and just say that this is fucking stupid. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the radio's still playing Tory. His album's still coming out. People still, LeBron still is a huge fan apparently. And the kids are still going, the kids are still going crazy on the social media whenever he drops something. But at this point, I feel like it's out of defiance. Tory Lanez is not a Drake. Tory Lanez is not Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tory Lanez is not on the level of these people to be having this undying support. And that's where getting back to like how we tend to like twist up the narrative a little bit. Like people see Meg Thee Stallion as like a villain just for being who she is, in my opinion. It's just this shooting was a reason for people to just kind of dogpile and just have a reason not to like her. In the same way that like I can say I didn't like Nicki Minaj. I'm not a big fan of Nicki Minaj, to be honest, of her music. You know what makes it easy not to like her? The fact that she seems to be fucking crazy on social media and also married to a pedophile. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or a sex offender or whatever, you know? Like, it makes it easy for me to say, like, I don't like Nicki Minaj. Like, nobody's gonna question that. Nobody's just gonna be like, okay. In the same way that, like, if you were in a circle full of black dudes and you just walked in, you're like, man, I don't even fuck with Meg Thee Stallion like that. Most people are gonna be like, yeah, man, me neither, man, this shit. And then you're gonna hear somebody in the group be like, yeah, man, you know she lying about that shooting, right? Like, and that's just, again, I've experienced that in real life. And that shit is like, wait, what? Huh? Why would she lie about that? Why would anybody lie about that? Why would Meg Thee Stallion in 2020, I can't even say the height of her career because it's still going, but at what was her peak, why would she need to manufacture something like this for clout? Because a lot of people like to use that excuse too. A lot of people are just like, oh, she's looking for clout. She's looking to take somebody out to make herself bigger. Why would Meg Thee Stallion need to make something up to be bigger than Tory Lanez in 2020? And I don't mean physically, because I know that's a short nigga. Shout out to my short kings. I'm 5'6". But I mean, like, in the zeitgeist. Meg Thee Stallion, the biggest rapper out since like Cardi B, right? Like she controls the cultural mindset. Why does she, of all people, at a party that she throwing, hanging out with, doing the damn thing, she partying every week, everybody love her Instagram photos, even if you don't fuck with the music, you love her personality, or you know her personality because she's so big. Why would she need to lie on Tory Lanez? Why would she need to bring down somebody else's career, his career, to do this? Oh, because apparently they had sex, because they used to fuck around a little bit, so she's vengeful. Because again, I've seen these excuses online, like, oh, I guess she's embarrassed that they had sex, so now she's trying to like bring them out. Why? Why? It just, if you put a magnifying glass up against any of these reasons why people are taking Tory's side in this war, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense, and it looks dumb. And again, when I default to what I believe is the answer, that we just happen to live in a nation and in a world that don't give a fuck about women, that don't give a fuck about black women, and are looking for any reason to tear them down. If I say that without any extra context, like I can't get people from point A to point B. I can't make it make sense to my friends. I can't make it make sense to people online. And that's the frustration about being somebody who is trying to exemplify a better example. Like, I was raised in Southwest Atlanta in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to outgrow and I'm still, because I'm not perfect now, am still having to outgrow a lot of toxic bullshit. I had to let go of homophobia, transphobia, fucking just hating women in general. Like, there was really just like, damn, you know what? I'm so damn, I think I might be a woman hater. I mean, like, and I had to like sit with that, analyze it, look back over like my past friendships, my past relationships, look at the outcomes, and just go, huh, damn, you know what? There might be something to this, and have to like make some changes. And just at one point, I just decided that like, whenever it's a culture war between men and women, it's in my better. It's better for me if I take the side of the woman, because 9 times out of 10, the men got some bullshit reason for like why they are doing something or why they're not doing something. And all of this, like the apathy towards Megan, the lack of decency you have to have as the biggest rapper out right now to make a line like this, even if this is like some throwaway album, because his big album, Honestly Nevermind, came out earlier this year. But like, people are going to listen to this. People are going to stand behind this, and it just doesn't make any sense. To pretend Lil Yachty to pretend that like, oh, this isn't actually about anything. Like to pretend that like this is not a sly reference to Meg Thee Stallion is lying. it's you look dumb. You look dumb trying to pretend like he didn't know what he was doing. You look dumb trying to defend it. Drake, you look dumb by saying this in general, by not having said anything since then. Like you, in a way, have, at least for me, have completely ruined whatever rollout you would have had for this. Like he posted what turned out to be a fake Tiny Desk intro for doing NPR's Tiny Desk, and then Tiny Desk quoted back to be like, hey, can we make it for real? Now, after this whole incident, and like when the album actually came out and when this line came out, if I was the NPR intern, I would have quoted that again and be like, honestly, never mind. And then I would have been like, give me my raise. Again, NPR, hire me. Okay, this is why I'm doing this podcast, to get hired by public radio. That's it. That's it. I'm just playing. But no, seriously, like this, Drake was already goofy. Drake was already corny. Drake's music itself has already been on the decline for like 6-7 years. None of this helps. This is like, it leaves a disgusting taste in my mouth. I think the other thing, I take it personally when shit like this happens, because in the same way that I get on my soapbox about Kanye West, Drake was, for whatever reason, one of those artists that I was going crazy about in high school and college. Like he was huge. And to see a lot of my favorite artists from my childhood resort to this anti-cancel culture, this Jews run the world, this I hate women, this like get your money, fuck everything else like mentality is just fucking weird and gross, and I hate it. And I hate it. And I know that a lot of the people that I'm talking to right now in this podcast have already given up on Drake because his music sucked or because his personality is whack. But again, as somebody who like naively likes to hold on to like a shred of hope, as somebody who like, when my favorite problematic artists release an album, I hope that the music is so good that it almost erases a lot of the other bullshit afterwards, and it just never happens. I have to say my piece, and I have to speak for other people out there, other delusional idiots like me who are out there who have not given up, who are still waiting on people like Drake and Ye to get their shit together. And it probably won't happen. We'll die. If we're holding our breaths, we will die. And it's just not gonna happen. It's absolutely disgusting. Shout out for 21 Savage for not saying the line, because I hate to say this, I just assumed that he said it. I don't know why. I just maybe because I grew up in the South and he grew up in the South. I just assumed. I just, a Canadian wouldn't he wouldn't get into United States politics. He has no reason to be a part of this. But no, he's standing up for his other Canadian friend. You know, shout out to Toronto. We need to deport these niggas. Not 21. 21 can stay. He was already deported during the Trump administration. We don't need to deport him. We keep him. We bring him back. Deport Daystar. Deport Aubrey Graham. Get them out of here. We don't need, until they get their acts together. Get them out of here. I'm sick of the bullshit. This is dumb. I could have listed, like, if I was a good podcaster and I had show notes, I could have listed like multiple incidents where like rappers, people on social media are just dogpiling on Meg, dogpiling, little shots, little references, hanging out with the wrong people, and it's just all like we seem to have, and then at the same time, we get like turning this back to the Ye shit. We get upset when people say anti-Semitic shit like Kyrie Irving, like Ye, and they immediately get taken the fuck out of here. We get upset with the establishment, like, oh, well, see, you know, people be saying stuff about black folks all the time and nothing happens. But when they say something about the Jews, we get them the fuck out of here. That's an indictment on us. That's an indictment on us, not Jewish people. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing that like this whole rigmarole in the news for the last few weeks has just really opened my eyes on like how much we as a culture are lacking. We can't get our own people out of here. Like, Drake should be the fuck out of here for this line. I'm saying it's bad. Regardless, if he wants to come out and be like, oh, you went a little mean. This wasn't about Megan. This was about BBLs. You know what you did, bro. I'm saying, you know what you did. Stand behind it. This is what you meant. Get the fuck out of here. Like, but we can't do that as a culture with Drake. We couldn't do that shit as a culture with Tory Lanez, which is why he's still out here. Couldn't do that shit with R. Kelly. He literally just went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't seem to let go of people that we need to let go of for our own sake. And I'm reading myself right now. I'm not even reading y'all. I'm reading me too, because I am, like I said earlier, a delusional idiot who has not let go of people like Drake, who need to be let go of for shit way before this. But this is like egregiously disgusting. It's absolutely bad. Anytime somebody comes out of their way and says like, you know, I'm a Drake stan, I was already going to raise my eyebrow in 2022, because being a Drake stan in 2022 is a little weird. But after this, I know where you stand. Again, it's like when I come over to your house, if you playing Tory Lanez on your playlist, I know where you at with it. Like you can't, you know who you're listening to. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say like, oh, it's just stuff playing on in the background. Oh, I didn't know. But you hear his voice, you know who it is. And when you think Tory Lanez, you think Megan Thee Stallion, and you either don't care and ignore it, or you're defiantly being like, all right, look, I don't give a fuck about this Megan Thee Stallion shit. The music is still good. She probably lying about it. I'm gonna keep playing this shit. And that's weird. That's weirdo behavior. I think you're weird. And it's weird. It's weird. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. Let me get off my soapbox. Okay. All right. That hurt me to say, because I just, to get meta with it, break the fourth wall a little bit. This is part of the reason why I've hesitated on bringing Jukebox 2 back, is because I have this like anger almost with the industry, with the culture, and just seeing a lot of this shit kind of play out and be sustained. Like the Megan Thee Stallion shit happened 2.5 years ago. Why are we still making jokes? Why are we still listening to Tory Lanez music? Why is he still getting features? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we continue to just like allow people like this to take up space in the culture at large? Why do we allow these people to continue to sell out stadiums, to break streaming records? Drake does not deserve to be celebrated for this at all. Doesn't deserve to be laughed at. He deserves to be ridiculed for this. And it upsets me that will not happen. It does. It makes me jaded, a little cynical, because I know it won't happen. But again, I just feel like I have to add myself to the chorus of voices that's just like, this shit is dumb, because there's not enough dudes talking about it, to be honest. Like, I know that like there are definitely, I mean, there are YouTubers and podcasts and all the other people that are like on the side of women, but like I just feel like I don't see a lot of that in what's hot, you know, like what's out. I don't see a lot of people coming to Meg's defense, coming to her aid, and just being like, look, we stand with you. Like, regardless, the facts ain't all out yet, but I'm always stand with the victim before anybody else. And Tory Lanez is not the victim in this situation, regardless of how it plays. I'm just saying, look, it's gross. And just like Meg Thee Stallion said, when the truth does come out, a lot of y'all gonna be looking fucking stupid. And I hope and I pray that when the time does come, that we as a culture recognize that like we give a mea culpa to Meg Thee Stallion. Like, we all owe her an apology. I feel like we all like need to just do better at protecting her and black women like her in the culture, because these are not people, like, we should not be fighting. All this infighting within ourselves is dumb. Like, this whole like women doing this, men doing that, the fucking like, you know, what Fresh and Fit gets off on, all of that shit is stupid. None of that shit matters. We're not fighting the right people. We should not be fighting within our ranks. Don't need to be fighting black men. Don't need to be fighting black women. We need to fight white supremacy, you know? But like, unfortunately, we can't concentrate on shit like that because we're too busy letting people get shot in the foot and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's frustrating. It's ridiculous. And it's got to stop at some point. And I'm going to stop ranting, because again, I could go for another 20 minutes about just random rabbit holes and random shit, because it's all connected in some kind of way. But it's just gross. What I will say as just kind of a closer, if you are a Tory Lanez fan in 2022, I would beg you to reevaluate your stance and question where that comes from. Because it's not just the music. I've heard the music. The music is fine. Like, I'm not gonna shit on him and be like, oh, the music is ass. Like, it's fine. He, just like a lot of the other R&B artists that came up in the mid 2010s, have just been riding this wave of nostalgia. Like, I'm just gonna do 80s. I'm gonna do 90s. I'm gonna sample your mom's favorite song. And it is passable enough to have on in the background while you chilling with some shouty. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I wrap up, the point that I wanted to make, just in case any of the higher, because what I'm saying right now, what I'm asking of you, the people that are listening, Tory Lanez fans, the whatever, like I'm asking you to do better and to like aim higher and to just, but I also need to meet people where they're at. And sometimes you got to appeal to people's lower sensibilities. So what I will say is, we live in this patriarchal society where like, it's all about fuck bitches, get money. And a lot of y'all still subscribe to that, right? You subscribe to the fuck bitches, get money. Totally get it. You're scaring the hoes. The hoes just want to be hoes and you're scaring them. And you need to stop because I'm telling you, like people, you're scaring yourself out of pussy by tweeting that like, yo, Tory Lanez is innocent, bro. I'm telling you, it's like 5 potentials that are on the outskirts that see you say that on Facebook and they go, pussy dry, not getting it, done. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm trying to help y'all out at the end of the day. I'm trying to help our society, but again, just on a more personal level, as a man who grew up around men that know how men think, you're not helping yourself by doing what you're doing right now. By taking the side of this man, you're literally spooking the harlots. And you need to stop. Just again, I know that that's the lowest possible hanging fruit. Like hopefully I got to somebody, and I wanted to make sure I made that last little nugget of truth just to say it, because hopefully, even if you didn't hear the 40 minutes of logical shit that I said earlier, if I ain't gonna get no pussy, hopefully that was enough to get somebody out there to just be like, just start thinking. It's not a switch. I know it's not a switch, but just start thinking about this shit. Whenever the news cycle comes up and it's like, oh, new female rapper here is doing this, and you see 90% of the people being like, bro, this shit whack as fuck. What the hell? Just think about it for a second. Think about it. Think about it. We let everybody, we let the little babies and the babies and the young nudies and the NBAs and the yeets and everybody else. We let everybody else get away. We're doing the same shit over and over again, but it's only a problem when women do it. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. Just the Bobby Brown meme. Think about it. That's it. I'm done. Oh boy. What I meant to say towards the beginning of the episode is that I would like to do some question and answer segments. In addition to reading the best comment on last week's episode, I'll start doing that in the beginning of each new episode. So keep leaving me comments on YouTube. But I also want more long form question and answers. And it could be music related or not music related. But I'd like you to start sending me questions to ask to answer on this. I don't know. I got stuck for a second. My bad. But I'd like you to start sending me questions to answer on the podcast, and I will answer them here. So you can send them anonymously, or you can send them to your name. You can send them jburritos@gmail.com, or you can just DM me. I was gonna say D-mail. What the fuck is a D-mail? You can D-mail me on Twitter. At jburritos, and I'll answer there too. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave comments if you agree, disagree. Was I doing too much? Do you want to see more of this? Do you want to see less of this? Let me know in the comments below. I love you very much. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next week. Drink some water because I am dying in here, even with the fan on. It is hot. It's some kind of heat wave going on the East Coast because like it is hot as fuck for November. But take care of yourselves. Also, go vote tomorrow. If you listen to this today, Monday, when it comes out, go vote tomorrow. I'm sure you're seeing it all in the mainstream media, but a lot of it is not hyperbole. Like the midterms are hella important, and it's a little shaky right now. So we need all the votes we can get for progressive policies and good politicians. So make it happen. Love you. Talk to you next week. Bye.